we get by with a little help from our friends. So when I don't know anything about a topic, I reach out for help. And this is a product of just that, asking for help. Are you overwhelmed by motherhood and barely keeping your head above water? Are you confused and frustrated by how all the other moms make it look so easy? You can't figure out how to manage the chaos in your mind, your home, or your family. I get you, mama. Parenting with ADHD is hard. Here is your permission slip to let go of the Pinterest-worthy visions of organization and structure fit for everyone else. Let's do life like our brains do life, creatively, lovingly, and with all our might. When we embrace who we are and how our brains work, we can figure out how to live our lives successfully and, in turn, lead our families well. At the end of the day, we just want to be good moms. But, spoiler alert, you are already a great mom. ADHD does not mean you're doomed to be a hot mess, mama. You can rewrite your story from shame spiral to success story. And I'll be right here beside you to cheer you on. Welcome to Motherhood in ADHD. Hey there, successful mama. It's your friend, Patricia Sung. I want to do something special for you on Mother's Day. And in the US, this year, it's on May 8th. Now, I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be as I record this. So next week, go check your inbox and find out whatever my brilliant ADHD brain has brewed up for daily planning and time management mastery for ADHD moms. If you aren't on my list already, head over to patriciasung.com/quiz and take the quiz, or you could snag any free resource at patriciasung.com/resources. Look for something good in your inbox next week. Before we dig into our episode today, we're going to read our review of the week from One Foot Up, titled Simple Brilliance. Thanks, Patricia, for helping us feel not so alone and providing us with simple strategies for productivity and amazing guests. Why, thank you, my dear. You know, I love reading your encouragement, and it's not just because I want to feel good, okay? Knowing that what I'm doing makes a difference spurs me forward on the days where this is really hard. I always do my best to be honest with you, and being consistent with a podcast every week is really hard. It is hard. It is not an ADHD-friendly task. I'm going to be honest. But I knew that going in, and that's why I take breaks. And that's why I have started to grow a team that I can lean on when times are tough. So know that while sometimes I look really polished, a lot of times I'm not. And your words of encouragement really do mean a lot. Now, if you are in another country besides the US, I actually can't see your reviews. I can only see in Apple Podcasts and YouTube the reviews of whoever is in that country. So if you are in another country, which I know many of you are, would you please take a screenshot of your review or the reviews that are in your country and either email me them, it's hello@patriciasung.com, or send me a DM on Instagram, because I would love to see those too. And I don't know why they do this, but they don't show you those. So shoot me those over so I can read yours too. Now, how did we end up here today? One of you reached out to me, Pam, and we were emailing back and forth about advice for single moms, and she wanted to offer what has worked for her as a widow and as a single mom. She's like, there's not a lot of support and not as much advice out there for those of us who are doing this by ourselves. And she wanted to offer her advice. And I'm like, this is a brilliant idea, because I am not qualified to talk on this topic, but I do want to honor all of the different kinds of moms that are in our community. And let's be real here. When you have ADHD, you are far more likely to go through a divorce. So we're more likely to be single moms than your average mama bear. So no matter how you ended up being a single mom, I want to support you, and I want to honor all the different kinds of moms that are in our community. So I reached out to a few friends to ask for their advice. What would they share as single ADHD mamas that would be helpful and supportive to another mom who is walking a similar path? So you're going to meet Sweet Pam here in just a moment, and you're also going to meet a few other friends. You'll meet Yakini, who you've actually met before. She's been on the podcast before, who advocates for parents of ADHDers through her YouTube and podcast, ADHD Love. You'll also meet Anna Lopez, who has become a friend of mine through the Enclave, which is an amazing group of ADHD women run by Liz Lewis and Elizabeth Brink, and I'll link that in the show notes for you. Now, Anna is a psychiatric physician's assistant, so she has a brilliant knowledge about how our brains work. And she also posts really funny stuff in her stories, so you should go follow her stories. You'll also meet Nikki, who I think it would be safe for me to say that she became an accidental influencer on ADHD. We recently did an Instagram Live together, a Q&A on ADHD moms, so you can go over to her profile and watch that live. And you'll also meet Natalie. Natalie is an ADHD coach for women who have gone through divorce and are finding themselves and adjusting to this new chapter in their lives. So I have 5 amazing mamas who are doing this on their own and have some amazing advice for you. And I cannot wait for you to meet these women. So let's dive in and meet Pam.
Hi, my name is Pam McCurry, and I've been a widow for the past 5 years. The biggest pieces of advice I could give any woman raising children on their own would be number 1, stop striving for perfection. Your kids don't care if your house is spotless, and they don't care if they have a perfectly well-balanced home-cooked meal on the table every night. What they do care about is your love and your attention. Number 2, ask for help when you need help. Don't be too proud. It truly does take a village. And number 3, don't compare yourself or your family to other women and other families. This will only lead to dissatisfaction. Focus on your own family, and you'll be much happier as a result.
Now let's meet Yakini.
So I would say my biggest advice for single parents from a single mom is number 1, to be patient with yourself. This journey is not easy when you're traveling most of it alone. It's going to be many hard days, but if you keep at it, there's going to be so much reward. You will see amazing things happen, not just with your children, but with yourself too. Stay patient. It's an amazing thing that I've seen. I've seen my children grow, and then I've also seen myself grow. And the other thing I want to say is don't stop advocating for them. Don't give up on pushing the boundaries that some of the school systems are going to be uncomfortable with. There are things that you can put in place and help your children with that they may not have done before, but it doesn't mean it is not right and it does not help them. So don't give up advocating and pushing the boundaries with the school systems. Thank you.
Mama, are you looking for some extra support? Could you use a few more like-minded mamas in your circle? Here is your official invitation to join our Facebook group, the Motherhood and ADHD Community. Here you can ask questions, share advice, but most importantly, know that you're not alone. Click on the link in the show notes or search on Facebook for Motherhood and ADHD Community. So come join our little corner of the internet with other mamas who know how your brain works and won't look at you crazy when you share what's floating around inside there. Instead, they'll say, I get it. I've been there and I know how that is. So come on, what are you waiting for? See you in there. Again, that's the Motherhood in ADHD Community on Facebook. Next up is Anna.
Simplify, simplify, simplify. Do things as simply as you can. Live as simply as you can. And when I say simplify, I know in the ADHD brain we think these things are just going to happen overnight, but this can take days, weeks, months for you to really find what and how you are going to simplify. For me, that's just how I feed my kids. You know, we do a lot of the same meals every week, so don't be afraid to have the same meal plan for every week or every other week. If they don't care and you don't care, then cool. You know, I'm trying to decrease our clutter and toys in the house, and that's been an ongoing project for like months, but also kind of years. And, you know, it does get better over time, and the work that you put in, even if it's just a little bit at a time, really does bring you more peace. And for me, it really helps me to try to decrease the outside clutter so the inside clutter of my mind can be a little bit quieter. You know, take breaks, rest. If there's dishes in the sink and toys or crumbs or rice on the floor at the end of the day, but you know you really need to rest, listen to your body. Listen to your body. Always listen. If that says for you to stop and pee, then stop and pee. Just really take care of yourself and simplify your life to get through.
Hi, Patricia. Nikki here. My single mom in ADHD advice is to do the shit that you thought you were going to do before you were a single mom. You had a dream and a vision of what it would be like to be a mom, whether it was ski trip or a trip to Disney or doing arts and crafts or being a present mom or being an organized mom. You can still be that person. An example I have is I took both of my little kids skiing this past week, 5 and 7 years old, and I was scared shitless because I thought of all the what ifs. But if we lead with the what ifs, we don't get to experience the greatness in just being in the moment, even when it's messy. You end up leaving there going, holy crap, the memories we made today were imperfect, but so beautiful. So do the stuff. Just do the stuff. Don't second guess it. You can do it.
This is Natalie Nolan, or Coach Natalie, or ADHD Divorce on Instagram. Just wanted to give the single moms out there a quick piece of advice, and that's just really to take really good care of yourself and to, all that love that you're pouring into everybody else around you. What would it look like to do that for yourself? When was the last time that you looked at yourself with love? When was the last time you spoke to yourself with love? When was the last time you touched yourself in lovingly ways? You can't pour from an empty cup, and you need to take great care of yourself, including having amazing boundaries and learning how to say no and being comfortable with people's reactions to your no, and understand that you are important and that your needs matter and that you are totally worthy of being loved and being taken care of. And that starts with you.
And with that, mamas, I encourage you to find these women on Instagram and reach out to them. Build your community of mamas who are like you, because we are not alone in these struggles, and everything is easier when you have a friend by your side. I'll talk to you next week, Successful Mama. Hey there, mama. I've got something fun for you. Who doesn't love a quiz? I want to know, which mama animal are you? Because you're not your average mama bear. You have a magical ADHD brain that puts a sprinkle of brilliance on everything you do. Sure, you may have forgotten that laundry in the washer for the 3rd time, but what are your strengths? What makes your ADHD parenting style unique to you? How do you use that sparkle to bless your family? So which mama animal are you? Find out by taking the quiz. What's your ADHD mama parenting style? Because you're not your average mama bear. Head on over to patriciasung.com/quiz and find out. And then when you do, I want you to post your results on social media so we can see that you're #not your average mama bear. Along with the hashtag I'm a mama, and then fill in the animal that you get. Again, that's patriciasung.com/quiz. And I can't wait to see what you get. So tag me at Motherhood in ADHD. For more resources, classes, and community, head over to my website, motherhoodinadhd.com.